it's me, Ainu here. I'm back at home, finally. After all this trouble. Let me get it a little bit closer. Right. So, where do I start? I don't even know. So the thing is, I have to go to a doctor very soon now. So I have little time. So while I'm getting ready, I'm going to talk to you guys. So I'm kind of multitasking. I wanted to apologize truly that I didn't send you videos during my travels. I really had hoped to do it, and I had no idea that I wouldn't be able to do it, that it would be as hard as it was. But really, it's like we were just moving so much. At the end of the day, I would just be completely out. I would just fall on the bed, fall asleep. In the morning I would take a shower, have a very busy day, fall asleep again, and so on and on. So even though I did take a lot of videos, I didn't actually edit or put them together or anything like that to update you guys. So I'm hoping to do that now when I'm home. At least get a few videos out of all my, I think I have like over 100 links of different videos. I mean, I have even a bunch of videos where we are like in a car and I'm filming just to get some scenery in. Okay, so now first I need to do my nails. Therefore, like the mascara. The nail polish is falling off. It looks nasty, so I need to get that off. I'm sweating if you don't see, guys. Let's see. Sneak. It's all sweaty. It's that nice Atlanta weather again. Hot, hot, hot. How can I take... My bosso is like next door. Like, she doesn't like it. She wants to be with me, but unfortunately she rummages around and I can't have her here. She starts moving like the lights and everything. It's like, no, honey, you can't be here, baby. So she's a little bit pissed off. Right. My hubby had to go to another conference. Like today morning, 4 a.m. he drove out. He had to go to North Carolina. He's coming back tomorrow. So I don't know how he managed to do that. He must be super exhausted. So I'm home with my daughter. The bad thing about it is that I have to go to a doctor. I have to get my chemo in. So I didn't actually end up getting my chemo right before I ended up going to travel. Like, I wanted to do it the same day we were flying out, but unfortunately I didn't do it. I didn't get it, and so now I have to get my chemo. So it has been like 3 weeks about. But the problem is that they don't allow children into the infusion center. So I have called 4 different people. They all have said no for whatever reasons. And now I can't do it. So I'm in trouble. So one other time, I think a couple of years ago, I had a similar situation where hubby was away and work-related thing, and I had to go to chemo, and I had absolutely nowhere to leave her. And then she just waited outside. I asked the receptionist to keep an eye on her, and she was nice enough to do it. So I don't know. At the moment, looks like that's what we have to do. And that's just sad. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I'm nail polish off. I think the worst thing is nail polish that is coming off. It looks really yucky, filthy, makes the woman look like she's filthy, kind of, you know, untaken care of. Like, it's a really bad look. It's not nice. So today is Thursday. No, not Thursday. What I'm talking about. Today is Wednesday. We arrived yesterday. We were supposed to arrive on Monday, and we didn't. The reason we didn't was because when we had to do a change of flights in Frankfurt. So we were coming from India, we were going to Frankfurt, and there we were supposed to change the plane to come to Atlanta. And unfortunately, the security there was so slow. I mean, we had plenty of time actually. It was 2 hours, which is actually good enough time. But I'm going to give you that story because that's kind of an interesting story, I think, at least what I think. And basically it was airport's kind of fault. I say kind of here. But then they were very nice enough that they put us in a Sheraton hotel that was in the airport. It was literally like there, like in the same building as the airport, and we were able to rest, get a good night's sleep, and then go next morning. And I mean, I think that for me that actually worked out best, because to do 2 flights row, both like 9 hours, is very difficult. And I was just like at my end, like, you know, I can't handle this kind of stuff, and I was really scared about it. And luckily we lucked out in a way. Okay, so what happened? So that's what I'm going to talk about today, is why we ended up getting late, why we didn't come home a day earlier. So one thing you need to know about India. India has like an enormous amount of fabulous things, very, very rich culture. They have very like enjoyable things, absolutely amazing things there, things about people that I love, a lot of things. But like every country, they have some things that, you know, are like a minus. You know, it's just not becoming. It's not a good behavior. And that behavior is, and I don't know if it's specific in India, if it's specifically in that place, the Kerala, the state of Tamil Nadu. But it's a huge but. They do not stay in line. It's like, you know, if you have seen a documentary about how they drive.
அவங்களுக்கு தமிழ் தெரியுமா சார்?
குழந்தைக்கு தெரியும்,
அம்மாவுக்கு
அம்மாவுக்கு தெரியும். பாத்தியா?
என்ன சொல்றீங்க? நம்ம லங்க கடிக்க போறோம்மா.
ஆமாம்.
ஒரு பாருங்களா, சாப்பிட்டியா, தூங்குனியா? ஒரு தமிழ் ஒரு தெரியுதா தமிழா?
நாங்கெல்லாம் ஏதோ தமிழ் பேசுவோம், அவ்வளோக்கெல்லாம் தெரியாது.
They absolutely do not like give each other a break. So if you can hear that, my daughter is upstairs listening to music. I'm sorry about the background, but at least she's not doing it in the same room here. Right, so the thing is that they don't know how to be in line. They skip line, like, and it's bad. It's really, really bad, and it's literally like this. So so the way they drive, they actually behave. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I don't care. I know it's true. Okay. And that's another story what happened to us inside a supermarket in India. But right now I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about why we relate. So this involves really about the fact that Indians do not like to stay in line and they skip line. So that was a very big thing, and I will get to it why. And then the other thing is that in India, I don't know if you have ever taken a flight from India or that is going to India, you will notice that there will be a lot of, what is it?
Do you hear something?
Yes, I do. Can you turn it a little lower because it's actually on my video? Let me, I have to, Lakshmi Ani, I have to get it done so we can go. I know it's Lady Gaga. Can you please not mess up things?
No.
And if you can find and eat some cherries, it would be wonderful.
Okay, I'll make a little load.
Thank
I'll
you.
come back here if I didn't.
Don't disturb me, please. Please. Okay. So the thing is that I don't think this is something like a cultural thing, but I don't know. The thing is, if you maybe talk to somebody who works in airport, maybe they will confirm it, but maybe it's just something in Asia. But when you get a little bit older, even if you can walk, you still feel like when you fly that you need to take a wheelchair, like that people should give you a wheelchair. My hubby's mother is like that. So now she has a valid reason. She's over 80, she has issues, but when she was younger, she was still doing it when she didn't really need it. It's like hitting a certain age and then thinking, no, I some reason don't need to move around anymore. Other people should push me around. If you don't like it, if you don't like me, well, it's just what I have seen. I say what I've seen. Maybe when I get more information, I will stand corrected. But this is for your serious information what I've seen. Okay. So when we were coming from India, in the Indian airplane, so I needed a wheelchair. So I legitimately need a wheelchair because I cannot go that long distances having a bag, and because sometimes it can be really, really long. Especially hard for me is standing. Like I can even walk, but there are like very huge lines usually, especially when you go to security, where you have to stand. And I can't literally do it, and it's scary, and I'm really scared that I will collapse, people will call ambulance, like I'm super scared. And so we had decided ahead of time that we will get a wheelchair for me. And also the other thing is next day I can get very, 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 very sick, not can get, but I do get if I do something like that go through all those lines, all this walking, all these things that take several hours before you actually get to the plane. On top of that, the airplane light, that you can't sleep, you can't move, all this. So we just try to make it physically as comfortable for me as possible. And so I need a wheelchair. Okay, so I was one of them. And then there were 9 other people, all of them older Indian people, and I think they were all women actually. So basically we were lined up, and it was in India, it was completely normal. There the security was very minimum for us, so because we were all the people who went through so every time you are in a wheelchair, you go through a completely different security line. Like they have a special security line just for you, and it was very, very fast. We got all those extremely long lines where you were standing, so it was actually very nice and pleasant. And yeah, so we got to the plane first. It was wonderful, and I was like, yes, I'm feeling really great. I don't feel bad. I'm not sweating. I don't feel like I'm collapsing. Great. And so right, so we take the plane. The plane ride wasn't too bad. I tried to stretch, I tried to do this, I tried to that, keep hydrated, and right, everything is going well. We land in Frankfurt, and then there, just wait a minute, I'm going to come back, I need to wash my hands. So I'm back. I take only sips and sips of coffee. So don't think that some reason I don't like Indians or something like that. That's not the case at all. They have absolutely wonderful things that I love. It's kind of like in America, wonderful things, and then, but you know, everything is not 100% perfect. Okay, so we land in Frankfurt, and right before we land, we realize, okay, so we land in Frankfurt, everything's fine, but there in Frankfurt, right, oh my god. So I needed a wheelchair, and you come out of the, they had actually a wheelchair for me because they knew how many people had wheelchairs when they went on a plane in India, so they had that many ready. But I come out, they look at me, and it's like, who is this wheelchair for? You can walk. Like, they look at me, I'm a young person, and I'm walking, right? And I look completely fine. And so there was this slightly older German man, very German in a sense, very orderly, very harsh, not like, you know, like very like to the point. And he looks at me, it's like, you know, you're walking. Why would you need a wheelchair? He actually says that while he's holding the wheelchair. And then he says, we don't have any wheelchairs left. And then I'm like, okay, I guess you don't have any wheelchairs left, even though you're just holding, he wasn't only one wheelchair, he was only 2 wheelchairs in his hand. Right, and I was like, okay, what can I say? Because the thing is, when you ask a wheelchair, you are not asked why you need it, you just need it, right? They don't actually ask why. At least in India they didn't. And so, and I'm like, okay. And then I say, well, okay, but I have terminal cancer. It's all over my spine. And I turn around and start walking away. And then this and the woman next to him both said, hey, miss. Right, and then they were apologetic, put me on wheelchair, and because I had to say what's wrong with me, and I had to say the words, I started crying. I don't know why I started crying. I don't know, somehow it hit me that it's that bad. That yes, people see me as I'm completely fine, but I'm not. And that I had to publicly, there were not just these 2 people in front of me, but there were a bunch of people around, like different people, like passengers, I don't know who they were, you know, people around doing something. And I said it loud enough that I'm sure some people heard me, and I don't know why. So basically I started crying, but I didn't like, oh, I just when he was wheeling me in a wheelchair, it's just the tears were falling. I was just very quiet, and I was just trying to like pat them off so that nobody would see. I just tried to, you know, like cry so that nobody can tell you're crying. But I think he noticed, and he was very apologetic, and I think he wrote something down into his notes, because nobody after that questioned me. Like nobody. Like, because the way it is that they have little like notes that they make into their cell phones that the other people who take care of the people in wheelchairs know. So basically, if he hands me off to the next person sees it and probably can tell what notes the person before has written there, or more people before.
No toothpaste left. I saw some. No left. What is in there? Oh, toothpaste. Can I use that toothpaste? I need it. Thank you. Really? Thank you. Brand new toothpaste for me.
Okay.
Lucky.
Please don't come back to disturb me. Please.
Okay.
Okay, so right, and so we get to the next place or whatever. So he's feeling me off, and so basically now we have to take like a bus, and we're waiting. And so the thing is, Germans are very, very orderly. They want everything to be by the line. They're very good at taking lines, being in line, never cutting a line, taking orders, giving orders. Everything has to be like precise, you know. They have a system, you just follow the system, everything works out fine. Indians, the polar opposite. It's like a culture clash what happened. Indians did not take any orders. When they were told, please stay here, they didn't stay here, they wandered around. When they were told, please do not cut the line 100 times, they always cut the line. It was a huge mess. So basically we were having to take a special bus for the wheelchair people, and like they all wanted to get to the bus at the same time. Now you have to understand, everybody will get to the bus. If you have a nice line, then it goes easier. But because Germans were not like, they're very organized people, they couldn't handle it. They started screaming, like they were like actually lightly demeaning, because they were like started screaming literally to people, not to me because I can take orders. Right? I'm from North Europe. I kind of get it, right? So, and I mean like. And when I say Indians, all the other people from India who were in there. So it was people who were in a wheelchair, and so somebody accompanying them. They could not take an orders. Oh my God! It's like they were like, please stay here so you don't get lost. So we know that once we have to start going, you're here. I don't have to find you. They wandered off. Like, and this. Never ever having a line, always like this. I mean, ridiculous. Okay, so get to the bus, and the bus also was like, first person is going, so next one, and then it's my turn, and then somebody behind me, and you understand, this woman was supposed to be on a wheelchair who's weak. She like starts cutting ahead of me, and I'm like, I literally put the hand in front of him and says like, what are you doing? Please don't cut the line. This is a kindergarten issue. And now you have to understand, me being so vocal about it is because, and that's another story time, which I'm going to try to get as soon as possible after I'm done with this story, is that we had incidents in India where cutting the line became a huge fight in a store, where it was like my hubby was screaming, another person was screaming, and it was because there was a cutting line issue. And so by that time I knew this is an issue, and I was really sick of it, because the reality is that if things like in this situation where we were in airport, that if you actually do one by one and you don't cut line and you don't kind of push each other and try to do everything, like you don't clog up the opening, things go faster. That's reality, because they had come up with stuff. The German had their things under control. They just wanted to, you know, let's do it this way, let's get it done fast, right? And we could not do it. Okay, so finally we get to the bus, and we get to the right terminal, whatever it was, and now we have to so basically now we have to take an elevator down. So next step would be going through customs, but we have to first take an elevator down. And so now there were some seats, and because I was not rushing anything, we were doing it nice and easy. People sat down. So basically now we didn't have wheelchairs. Basically there were no wheelchairs when you went to bus. And so people had to come off the bus without wheelchairs and when walking to like this room holding area. And there were some chairs against the wall. So my daughter keeps bothering me. So I have to make that here. So of hers, show. Right. So the thing is, and there they brought the wheelchairs there, and so, but not right away. So we had to wait a little bit. And so basically, the people who were not needing wheelchair, the company people, they all sat down. Nobody was offering me a seat, and I cannot stand long time. So nobody was offering or thinking, okay, are you the one who cannot stand and needs a wheelchair? Nobody's like. So basically, luckily we had a traveling suitcase that we had. So it's my daughter's, like a trunky picture here. So this is something you can sit on. So luckily I was able to sit on that many cases because I don't know what it is, I cannot stand long times. I can sit long times, but I cannot stand long times. Well, after sitting a couple hours, I get a lot of pain, but standing, it's kind of feels like literally I feel like I start fainting. I don't know what it is. And so, right, nobody was offering me, so basically it was very rude behavior, I would say, I mean, where I come from. So basically, but okay, fine, that's a little thing. And then the Germans come, the airport people come and say, okay, we're going to take the elevator. So she didn't finish a sentence, she couldn't explain the map. Everybody rushed to the elevator. Everybody rushed to the elevator, like crazy. And she's like, did I say? Like this person there who was supposed to come and tell us what we're supposed to do, how the plan is going to be, she only got to the word elevator. Everybody went to the elevator. And she started screaming, did I say elevator? No, sit please down, move further away from the elevator, please. And nobody moved. Anyway. So